Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. What I have planned for us today is to take advantage of some of these rockets that I've built. Just have them called A, B, and C. But we're going to go in space and find out what some of these question marks are. And at the same time, I want to convert more or get more power. I'm ultimately going to get more bionic tubes. We're at 50 right now. I plan to get to 100. I'm thinking maybe targeting one of these volcanoes. Not initially the volcano itself, even just the heat that's underneath it to start with, and then convert that to some power. And then the other thing is interplanetary launcher. Before we get into it, I was asked about the mods. I'm going to put the list of mods that I have in the description if you want to see that. The other thing I was asked about is the world seed here. I'm also going to put that in the description. And someone also asked about the full videos. This is just the highlight videos, but if you want, you can watch me on Twitch, Jared Oxygen. Jared Oxygen either on YouTube, where I have put my highlights, or the full videos, both streaming and both you can play it, I think, up to 10 days later. Anyways, let's start with our interplanetary launcher. Make that available. Might as well push that right there. Actually, this seems like it's going to be perfect location because this guy here will keep the contents that's going to fall on it clean. So we'll have that. Meanwhile, let's if I'm going to have a number of these bionic tubes, let's say go in space. One thing we need is I need to figure out where I produce. Here's some of the advanced things we need. Maybe 20 so of those. I'll make some of the infrastructure around this guy, and we'll get ourselves going. So with the interplanetary launcher, I'm going to be very careful about how I power that up. I want to stop using heavy watt wires and make sure I use heavy watt conductive wires for everything. So my thought is I'll just do this. If I poke a hole right here, that's not going to affect any solar panels because there's no solar panel directly underneath that. And also make sure we get the conductive version of this. That's going to sit right there. The other thing I got to think about is the Radbolts. Radbolts are going to be flying in this direction. I had that to shut off right there, so I might change that. Let's maybe cut this system right now because I don't want to see Radbolts flying anyway. Well, it's off right now anyways. Oh, right. I've got the ability to shut that off on that switch. Okay, so we're fine. So what I essentially want to do is make sure that I've got Radbolts go down here. Maybe have that go down like this. And ultimately into that. I could fork it from this direction, but I'm going to have to control it. Okay, I'll have to think about if that's what I want to do. Getting progress down here, and I'm thinking, or just noticed myself, the radiation right here is actually higher than right next to these guys. It's a 9,000 something and 10,000, and this one is going to increase. So I thought, you know what, why don't we change things up just a little bit? Let's put in a Radbolt generator. Maybe put that one, maybe get rid of that guy first, make a little bit of room, figure out. I got to make sure that we have appropriate cooling for the system. But let's get in there and see if we can take advantage of that. So here is the thought. I've got the Radbolt generator. To keep this guy cool, we're going to have a conductive panel. Maybe we'll do a double pass. Theory, it shouldn't matter. Let's make this out of steel. What way is this going? Okay, this one is going down. So how about we have that go like this, this. Feed into this guy. So it's going to go like that, and then it can return up there. Get rid of that little piece there, and we'll have this jump over. So this is the nuclear waste. The reason that radiation is just going to get actually higher over time. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I have the feeling like it's not. In which case, a little bit of liquid, just a tiny bit of liquid, if we can make it, that would be ideal. But let's get this built, and then we'll figure that out after. And so we'll take that out because we're probably going to reroute Radbolts from this location right down here. So we just surrounded this guy with gold tiles, realizing maybe to really help keep it cool, put radiant pipes here, here, and here. Regular for everywhere else. We got to get a tiny little bit of liquid in there, probably. Trying to think of petroleum. Maybe we'll start with, we'll see what water can do. I think it's important. Oh, wait. I'm forgetting the Radbolts themselves need to shoot out of this. Okay, that's maybe not going to work. Okay, we'll see if this is enough. If not, we'll brainstorm an alternate thing. Just a tiny piece of liquid standing on that. We'll see if that's going to help or not. Maybe we can deliver that from up there. Oh, and I should probably reconnect that. So now we're going to get some water splashed right there. And we're going to bring our heavy watt conductive wire, up. Okay, so tiny bit of liquid. Is that going to be enough to keep that guy nice and cool? We'll see over time. The other thing I need to think about is the direction that this is going to be pointing to. What I can do is have this guy shoot down if I'm in need of that. Otherwise, have it go up, which I could do by kind of this type of thing. And we'll have that first one controlled by a switch somewheres. Maybe put that switch down there. Take this out of steel just in case. Alright, so this guy is now running. Let's just have a look at its temperature, 44.4 points. It's 40. Oh, wait. Oh, 49. We seem to be loop. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I've created an infinite loop. So technically, we want that guy pointing down. Oh, really? The one place you're going to stand is right there. Okay, you know what? Point back up. Sorry, Mop. Okay, but I think, yeah, no, this is causing overheating. Even with these two conductor panels, it's just not enough. Oh, let's at least do that much. Phew. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, I'm super confused right now. I think I just cut the power. So we are no longer producing Radbolts. Okay. Oh, and heat. Okay. Heat was going up for a bit. Okay, it's going back up again. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the temperature of the cooling liquid? Oh, okay. I never considered that. Okay, the temperature of the cooling liquid is about 80 or so degrees. So of course, this maybe this is actually working. Maybe this is actually completely fine, and I just didn't realize it. As long as it doesn't continue to get hot, despite the fact that we've got what 87, so I would expect, and then we're at 88, 89. Please stop, 90. Please stop. Please stop. And then it went back. Okay, we may be okay. Now we've got the whole situation where I need to protect my dupes. Okay, so I'm protecting the equipment for cooling, and I believe we've got that sorted. But Radbolts could smack a dupe if a dupe decided to stand right here. I'll keep the ladder, but maybe what I should do, I want to block access. I think maybe the simplest way to do that is just to put like a door there and tell dupes you're not allowed through. Now, if material were to fall down, oh yeah, that's. Oh, but the door can be opened. Okay, and that would prevent dupes from standing here. Just clear off this and see about that. In theory, let's just bring that back while no one's standing there at the moment. This is our 51st dupe boost. Bring them along. Come back up here. So we've got this door in place. We're going to have that door open, and I'm going to tell the dupes, you're not allowed in. Bionic dupes. There is no standard dupes, but I'll specify standard dupes as well. If I've got that, and the other thing I now have is the ability to control this guy. Whether, why am I getting power issues? Why am I? Oh, I'm getting larger. Oh. But why am I getting? Okay. Did not realize, did not see that. Okay, that obviously needs to be fixed. So temporarily going to allow everyone back just to put in all the actual inputs. Otherwise, there's no point in putting in an interplanetary launcher. And then once that's done, let's reblock this off just for safety so that no one stands here and gets smacked by Radbolt. All right, so this is the area that I'm going to use to send some glass initially, some other material over time, but we want to send some glass over to this world to build more solar panels. Let's see if we can do that. I don't know, let's maybe do 5 tons of glass. Probably have quite a bit of glass that was able to produce way down here. Get back into the production business a little bit more too. Make that high priority. So now I've got 5 tons of glass right now. I'll dump that on the ground. So the auto sweeper can then access it. That's going to start the process. Oh, okay. I guess a little bit more construction is needed. But once this is done, in fact, literally, we should see some glass. Oh, a little bit of... is that glass at the top? Oh, a little bit of shell got in there. Whatever. We'll send a little bit of shell over. But let's turn this back on. Make sure this is on. That means essentially we're pointing down or loading in the interplanetary launcher. We see some glass going in. Okay, so we're storing 200. Oh, right, of course. It's not going to do anything unless I actually say where I want to go. That is this asteroid right here. So send some 200 kilograms. Boom. Material heading over here. If we do the space view, we can kind of see that on its way. Awesome. Let's check in on this guy. Okay, Spark still has plastic to produce. Quite a bit of heat because obviously lots of machinery in here, including the orbital data module. But we've got over 100 data banks. Maybe we'll send that rocket back down for just a bit. Well, you know, let's keep him up there for a bit. Meanwhile, why don't we look at taking... Oh, we need to modify some of these rockets. Oh, okay, that's right. So each of these rockets is has to have a telescope or a cartographic module. So let's build one on each of those. And if I find a planetoid, it would be nice to send both a rover. See if there's enough room. Rover module. And if we can... Oh, maybe there's not enough room for what I want to do. In which case, instead of sending the rover, I'd rather send a little bit of metal. And we'll send a rover later. So, in order to send metal, we need a cargo bay. Is there something called a small cargo bay, or is there's a large cargo bay? I feel like that's the big one. There, here is the one we want. Okay, let's make that our rocket. Okay, so let's make one adjustment. let's see about adding solar panel module. Need a little bit of glass. We've got 9 tons or so glass, so that's not going to be a problem. Do that across the board. Now, if I have that, each rocket will need to take that in. Let's see if I can recall where to do that. Is that under rocketry? Power outlet fitting. Provides power to connected buildings. I feel like this is the one I want. Where should I put this? We're probably going to put a painting right there. So I could put it right there. Do I want an orbital data module? Let's put it there for now. Yeah, actually that wouldn't fit anyways with that decoration in the way. So what I would need to do, obviously, have that connected like that. And then we'll do the same thing on each of the other rockets. So now that I've got all that in place, next thing I'm going to do is put in some paintings just for the decor. Let's get rid of that. And put in another painting over here. That's the wrong category. Go back to B and do the same thing. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of power that we're able to take in. Forget whether this produces heat or not. Maybe it does, but anyway. Okay. Let's just make sure that I get material loaded here. Be sad to arrive and not be able to send anything down. This one's shorter. Oh, yeah, solar panel. I see. I see it. Finish off with that. I don't know if I should add a second solar panel module. And there's probably not a lot of power needs. It's mostly this guy right here. Okay, that might be... oh, you know what we also need to do? We also need to make sure we bring in both algae and power. So let's do that on each of these rockets now. Okay, so with all these rockets ready to go, the dupes are still loading in all the material, tracking algae, eco power banks. Let's have a look at the skills. Now, I want to, hopefully I have enough. Should have created enough piloting boot. How come there's no piloting boosters? Pretty sure I had. Okay, there's a lot of piloting boosters right here. What? Whoa! Don't tell me there. Oh, I'm on the wrong asteroid. Whoops. Well, okay, that explains it. If I click on this asteroid, there we are. 26. So what I need to do now is just choose 3 dupes. Maybe Comet. I kind of feel like, based on their name, that was one of the ones I intended to do space travel with. So I'm going to have at least 1 suit training booster so they don't take forever to get into the rocket. And then everything else, let them take that off and put on piloting booster. So Comet will be one of our dupes. It's going to be exploring. Let me click on this rocket. We'll select the crew. This is going to be for Comet. So Comet will be assigned to that one. I'll do the same thing on the other 2 rockets. Probably makes sense to have the space fair module at the top. Is that just a simple matter of going up? Nice. All right, yeah, and that makes all the rockets. Now this one actually probably makes sense to actually be at the bottom, but I'm going to keep it because I don't know, maybe it does make sense to actually bring this one down because of this little pathway right here. Maybe get rid of that little section, just not need it. Okay, now I'll go after the 2 other dupes for piloting skills. Okay, so now that we've got a dupe assigned to each one of these, let's just double check that star. Now pilot over here, check crew yawn pilot. While they're loading in lots of bit of algae and data banks, let's go over to this asteroid, because now we've got all that glass that we had sent over. I want to get that out. This is the way to do that. Maybe I'll put that right there. That needs to be plugged in. Now, because it's glass, I'm probably going to be using it out in space here, so I might as well just dump it up like this. And then we can start constructing some more solar panels with the glass that I've been able to send over here. And now we've got the ability to get glass that has been sent from the other world without me having to send a rocket back and forth. That is nice. Okay, so with that, I guess I did that too early, but we'll let glass build up, and eventually I'll be able to make some more solar panels. So yeah, after checking in on these guys, I see some oxygen issues. It's a little thin over here to the left. Very thin down here, and then I guess natural gas has been building. Oh, and I see why. We get too much liquid. I think what maybe the best thing to do is to build a few of these to kind of drain that out. So I'm expanding the dupes as I go. It's making me nervous about running out of cots, so I'll put that in place right there. Probably get one more. Okay, just putting in what's missing here in this rocket, missing a manual generator, making sure that is made of gold amalgam. Circuit overloaded. Tell me about that. Heavy watt joint plate. Okay, you gotta go. That's not right. That's not good. Okay, apparently I did not get... Let's switch this view. Okay, that needed to be the heavy watt conductive joint plate. Make that out of iron, and we will put that right there. So now that I've taken care of that issue with replacing this, I see there's an issue over here, and I don't know if it actually is an issue. It says there's overheating issue of the conveyor loader. And an auto sweeper, both right next to this guy. It seems as if it doesn't actually take damage. It just gives you a warning. Hey, this thing's overheating. Let's see if that's actually the case. At this moment, I'm made out of steel. Temperature is 275. Actually, in 275, well, 0.1. 275 is that magic number where it is a problem. Oh, and okay. It's actually damaging. Why all of a sudden? That was running for... I thought that was running for a while. It's the same setup as I have up here. The thought I had was I'm taking this away. So we're taking the gold out in this direction. Away from the equipment first. But clearly... Oh, pipes. Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. Whoops. Okay. Eek. Oh. Oh, we need to get in there. Which we can. I see. Okay, that's... All right, let's fix this. Let's fix this. This was, first of all, get the dupes to, they can repair that equipment. But most importantly, that is insulated igneous rock. Let's make that priority. All right, guys, you need to get in here and fix some of this stuff, this being the most important. Yeah, without a means to actually cool this, now everything's taking some damage. I'm going to let that run for, okay, Rover, if you could get that fixed. Okay, maybe that is, now of course we have all these dupes hanging out in here. We want to kick them out. That includes you, assemble. Let's not forget to attach that. Any other problems, game? Building broken. What building are you talking about? What? Oh, yeah, okay. I do need to get in there to get rid of... This isn't actually a problem. Okay, I'll address that later. But at least this Just take a second to watch this. Go, 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 go. All right, so that is, that's that. All right, maybe I can then get back to my rocket work here. Let's go check this. Oh, a little bit of decor. Do I have the fossil? I don't. Maybe that being the case. It's a bunch of feathers. We'll do some pictures here instead of waiting for fossil. Just trying to think if we have everything we need. 20 tons of algae, 100 units of eco power banks on each of these rockets. What else? Oh, crude oil. What's up with the crude oil? Are we not supplying crude oil? And this rocket has some. I didn't have a liquid reservoir. I think we're gonna actually be fine without it. Ah, okay. I see what went wrong. All right, let's take this guy and have that go up like that. Maybe do a similar thing like that. This, of course, and I'll do this just in case I change the location of that rocket. Over here, I see that this might be in the way. Let's take that out. Put that down there. That should take care of that. And then I think we are ready for some space missions. Maybe take that off since we don't need that at the moment. All right, on this asteroid, I just got a low water or water low message. What I think I'm going to do is put a pump down here. We'll put in a desalinator somewheres, maybe up like this. Make sure we get a pipe into that. Essentially just going to take advantage of the water here. Probably be smart at this point to put in a little alert over on this side. Yes, I guess we can get rid of that. But do a similar setup. Maybe at that level. Just because eventually we're going to have that run out at some point. But this will buy us a whole bunch more time. Meanwhile, we are up here making some more solar panels. Last thing I'm doing with the rockets is putting in what will be... Oh, hold on. Thought I had some buddy bud plants, but maybe I did not. Maybe they are on a different asteroid. The other thing, if I don't have any, maybe check on this asteroid. No, what about over here? And if I don't have any over here, which I don't, then how about we use our building here that I have not used in a while. The scepter. Let's put in maybe 100 databanks. I'll start charging this up. But you know what? Maybe we don't need that for this this first initial mission. We are all ready to go. Why don't we start off with this is, let's see, rocket A. Let's C. That's B. Okay, this is rocket A. Let's have Yawn go to this direction. I'm kind of curious to see what is in there. So let's go over there. Let's have this rocket maybe go up this direction. And let's have this rocket head up this way. Oh, you know what? I had forgotten a mission control station. I should definitely build one of those right after this takes off. And we have our mission control station. Just going to put that in the laboratory if we can. Let's see if that has had an effect. All right, we have emission controls. This gives us essentially 20 20% speed boost while we're in our first few tiles taking off, so that is good. Now let's see if we can make this a laboratory. Let me click on disable down there. Oh, I meant that to be 1 over so we can get another research building of some sort in. Okay, with that door in place, let's open that door, double check if we have a laboratory. We do not. Oh, is a solar panel considered an industrial building? Shoot. Assuming that's the problem. Okay, well, we will lower it then. Maybe throw it down there for now. Which would require us to have that going into there. Maybe do that pattern instead. Just planning my system for scooping up Oxylite. Let's see, first of all, I just noticed that the auto sweeper cannot take something on the very far edge. So anyways, just make a note of that, I guess. Which means maybe put that right there. Put in another one right there. So this is going to be auto sweepers for picking up Oxylite. But we also need, I believe, the Robo Miner. Because some of that Oxylite will be sitting down there. That gets complicated. Simply because, actually no, that shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, pick that out of gold. Put one upside down. But then I'll put some mesh tile here. That does mean that a little bit of Oxylite would end up there. That would require me to want, or at least want to have auto sweeper that can access up there. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a puzzle to put in this to get the Oxylite out, but all right, I'll keep working on this and we'll see what we get. So I think I have a design here. I'm gonna get a mesh tiling above these guys first of all. Then we're gonna have a double robo miner, and one of them is gonna be covered, so it'll never be filled up with or have Oxylite piled on top of it. This one will be bailed out by this guy, and then we'll have a set of auto sweepers. I did see that the robo miner and even the auto sweeper can access stuff on the far edge on the right side. It's just specific to the left side. Hold on, I'm just kind of curious. Is the same problem with the miner? Oh yeah, love that. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Anyways, we'll start right there. Go 2 over with the same idea, and continue on like that. So here is all the equipment and the power. I decided that I also would put in some drywall in here, thinking that while that Oxylite is there, maybe it'll leak out a little bit less if there was a little bit of oxygen to put. I don't know if that even makes sense, but anyway, it's going in. The only thing I think that's left is to get conveyor rails, and I would like to minimize the amount of I guess space tiles that goes through. So we're gonna go, I'm assuming that when stuff travels through the satellite, that's more or less considered like a building, I guess. Make that assumption. Do a similar thing here attached to each one of these. So this is going to transport Oxylite, hopefully inside the base, and maybe I could utilize that at some point. Figure, why don't we go down like this, but maybe put in a door right there just to make that not leak out. And how about we get the Oxylite to dump out right there, at least on this side. Probably want to have this, oh, do we have a problem with hydrogen? I think we do. This is interesting. We almost have, I don't know, but maybe this is because I now have the solar panels. I should probably have a storage of hydrogen. Oh, okay, well, it's a little bit late for, or yeah, too early for this setup to run. We've got lots more construction. Uh-oh! Got a dupe that's stuck. Poor Symbol. I think I'm, at least while the meteorites is going on, I'm kind of forced to stay with these guys just because I noticed that they could become trapped. Anyways, once this is built, kind of curious to see the next Oxylite shower that falls down after this one. Okay, so we have found some interesting things over here. Let's go one tile over that direction. Over here, we'll go see what is there. And this rocket. Let's see, we've got still more places to go. We'll go this direction for that. Check the oxygen level over here. Okay, someone must have taken in a breath. I'm pretty sure that's going to fix itself. Check this asteroid. This asteroid was having a problem. It's improving, but still a problem. Need to get rid of more of this liquid that's down here. I was just in the middle of asking for more eco power banks. The other thing that I want to get is faster dupes. So maybe make 33 of those. But I see that we have made a discovery. Ah, here it is over here. Grassona, I guess. Awesome. Oh, let's not forget. Anytime I find a new thing, I should throw down the metal. And we've got 13 more tiles, 7 to get back home, so we can do a little more exploration at least. More discoveries to be made. So, whoops, I'm going to send, oh, I gotta select the rocket first. Rocket's called A. I'm gonna go over see what this is. We've got this guy here. I've got to start checking to make sure that I can get back. Oh yeah, definitely gonna be fine there. And lots of things to be discovered if I just go visit one tile over there. Noticing that the amount of hydrogen in this space is starting to be a problem. Let's have a closer look. It appears I might just have too many places where too many tiles going across. We could start to increase amount of mesh tiling. That might help to some degree, at least. But, I don't know. Over here, maybe it would also help if we, oh, be careful a little bit there. Put in something like this. Getting a little bit of the Oxylite might be good. Yeah, things are looking way more pink than I have seen in this space for a while. Oh, where was that discovery? Let's take you. See, get you to go down there. Ah, very water-based asteroid has been discovered here. Again, checking if I can get back. I think we can at least find out what that is before we leave. And I see this guy has another thing that we'll be able to discover down there. Okay, so I've got hydrogen problems on 2 asteroids. One is this one. The other one is this one over here, which I've started the process of building a hydrogen storage area down there. So hopefully that will be ready soon. But over here, I don't know. I do have a lot of open hydrogen or electrolyzers. That's definitely related to this. But it's not the pump the problem, or that's the problem here. The pump that's at the top is able to get rid of it. It's just a matter of, is things open enough to be able to get that up there? I'll play around with a few things here, but oh, I've got this stable in here. I think that I meant for to have that be replaced with this guy, with these guys. So why don't we maybe get rid of this one? Which means we could get rid of these, but I would want to take some of these guys up there. We'll start with that. I'll move a few things around up here, and then we'll see where we get with the hydrogen once I have that in place. And maybe I will be forced to pump in oxygen. But I'm trying to avoid that because that's going to take more power. On a normal base, I don't necessarily care, but where I want to get 53 and ultimately want to have at least 100 of these guys, I don't know if I'll be able to afford the pumping with hydrogen or with oxygen, so we'll see. A bit of liquid nuclear waste making its way in here as well. That's not fun. Okay, let's continue bringing more of these guys up here. Okay, just putting a few mesh tilings around has improved things. Earlier, I thought that there was lots of hydrogen here. That's actually just the pastel pink of the tiling, so that was a little bit confusing. Still some hydrogen, but I think we are fine over here. Now, don't know why we're getting nuclear waste in oddest locations, such as right there, but let's clean that up. Is it? That's weird. I don't know what's going on right there. Oh, some right here. Is there something with that plant that is producing nuclear waste? I've not noticed that before. Anyways, let's go over to this asteroid and finish up the storage of hydrogen so we can take care of hydrogen that's been accumulating over here. I can see that power's not a big thing. Been asking for more eco power banks. Maybe I'll put in one more of those. We'll get back to our storage thing here. Just noticed that I put the wrong type of tiling in here for this gas-based storage, so I'll switch that out before we complete this. Okay, just sending a little bit of natural gas. I think we'll have this pump opened up soon enough, but I see another planetoid was discovered. That's this guy here. Let's see how much longer. 7. Let's just send you back for recharging. Let's go check on this tube. Their rocket. Okay, 44.4. They still have plastic. Mainly, there's still algae. There's still data banks. There's still eco power banks. Or, yeah, data banks is the output. So I'll let that guy continue. Forget about making this a laboratory. This little area, we're going to send some power into this guy. First thing we got to do is remove a little bit of oxygen that's there. Putting in another power plant in case we need that in the future. Connect that with automation and with hydrogen. Okay, there's our process of sending or removing the oxygen. Let's go check on... okay, laboratory has been achieved in our mission control station. None of the rockets have returned just yet. We've got a vacuum in there so we can get rid of that guy. So what we can do, we're going to do insulation because this could be hot hydrogen. Send hydrogen into here. Let's just make sure that I've got that connected. I'm pretty sure I did. What was I doing down here? Hold on. I don't know that had a lot of point to it. Let's double check this. If that pump sends stuff out. Oh, I see. I kind of intended this to go this direction because I wanted to the priority of the gas to go from up here so we don't have to double pump it. That's kind of the idea. And then I'll do this little thing like that. Can get rid of that little section. And I'll disconnect that. And I think we are all good after that. Okay, let's see. We've got our hydrogen flowing in this direction. Any excess hydrogen, this is what I want. Excess hydrogen going into this room. Still have power being able to produce here. And over time, we can see the air getting a little bit thin up there, which is nice. Let's just maybe open this up a little bit more just to help that out a little bit. Okay, so that will take care of our hydrogen situation over here. Let's go back on this asteroid to make sure that the hydrogen issue is still not too bad. I'm going to say we're okay now on that. A little bit of stinky air, so maybe we'll put in a deodorizer or two over here. Throw one there, throw one there. It's going to need some power. What do I do? Bring that up. Should be easy. Just do that. And bring that guy up there. I've just got a warning about radiation vomiting. That is Spark here. That means their suit's going to be spoiled. So after running... Oh, there is one Buddy Bud plant. That's actually too hot in this since we're over 400. Or 400. That'd be a big problem if it was 40. It is now time to send this rocket back down. We have 414 databanks. Let's go out in space. The rockets are getting close. We'll take this guy, send that back down, and poor old Spark. Let's get you to take off your suit there, since you're gonna have that suit ruined. Get you to clean that up. And if Spark is landed here, then the only thing is they don't have a lead suit. And they're sick. We'll give them a little bit of time to get rid of that, and hopefully I come back and remember to get them their get them to put their lead suit on. Oh, and all the dupes are going into, I guess, load in plastic. I don't know if I'm gonna go up and get. I might, or we might make databanks in another way. But for now, yeah, they're also going to be taking the databanks out. Hopefully, I think they're there. It's not a databank; it's circuits. Well, they should ultimately be taking databanks at 2 locations, one of which being down here. And speaking of which, intercept another charge. So let's close the loop on this Oxylite system. My thinking is I was initially going to drop that here. I'm a little bit worried about Oxylite turning to oxygen and going into the pump. This is supposed to be a pump with just hydrogen, and there's no filtration on that. Let's just get rid of this little end here now that I notice that's there. But what I'm thinking is I have Oxylite over here being dropped off. Technically, I don't yet, just because I haven't specified Oxylite, but let's do that across the board. Do that across the board over here. Just taking note that power's not actually connected. I see that I forgot one of these guys. Get rid of that little end. And what I'm going to do, very similar to the other side where I had a door with Oxylite going through it, let's put that in there. Have that go down like that. Try to avoid, if we can, the pump directly. I think we'll be safe to dump Oxylite there, which means it'll sit right there, which I think should be fine. But yeah, okay, I will be very excited when we get the first little Oxylite meteor shower, just to see how that runs. See, already hydrogen looking much more under control, which is good to see. Just taking note that some of the rockets are back, so that should get me to turn this on. This guy charges very quickly. I wonder if the radiation level has gotten even higher. Yes, it has 12,000. I think it was 10,000 before. Now this is where I want to turn this off and have that go into the rockets. Excellent. That's Spark. Yeah, Spark needs a little bit of a break. I don't know if I have a room for stress. Did I ever account for that? I may not have. Maybe I should take care of that now. Just as I was planning this massage clinic here, we're going to put in 2 of these guys. We'll bring up power, which means we need a transformer perhaps sitting right there maybe. Feed that into these machines. One there. Radiation vomiting, yeah. Just hold on a little bit longer and we'll get you a new suit there. The door doesn't need to be shut. But as I was doing this, and I can see some gunk on the floor, so let's mop that up. I noticed, first of all, we have no Great Hall. Let's double check that's the case. I must have been in the middle of construction and did not realize that I did not rebuild it. That's a shame. That needs to be fixed right away. Along with getting the massage clinics in place. So the most important thing here is a communal table. I think we will need more than one, actually. So let's do that. Put a little bit more gold across like that. I think I was oh yeah, I must have been in the middle of designing this and just kind of lost track of what I was doing. Put in some lighting here at the same time. Oh no. Okay, never mind. I think what I just have to deconstruct it. This basically what let's take some of this out just to avoid confusion. Yeah, no, we do have a communal tables here, and we want to keep that. I forgot. That's the 5 high with the auto sweepers. Yeah, so never mind. That's I think the confusion came with the fact that I had an empty shelf. I thought, oh, something's wrong. Let's also get rid of that and that. Take that door out for now, for the time being as well. Okay, but do we have the, okay, there is Spark getting their stress down a little bit. Major radiation sickness. Let's give them a little bit more time. Okay, so now that I've got all my rockets that have arrived, we are relying on just one Radbolt generator. I'm wondering if I turn this back on. I think this means that I'll be able to get multiple of these guys helping out. I'm thinking eventually as radiation levels get higher and higher, this guy will be so effective. I don't know if it actually maxes out. But anyways, for the meantime, let me just make sure that this is going to work with their design. Yeah, it does. Okay, awesome. The other thing, I could add a second one right there, but you know what? Maybe I will save that for exercise for another day. So everything is built up here. At some point, we will give this a test to make sure that we've got Oxylite that's piling up down here, as well as Oxylite that piles up down there. Until then, I think the last thing I'm going to do for the next little bit, anyways, oh, hold on, see that we've got, what is it that I'm trying to destroy there? Oh, there's some piping. Just looks like the power is going to be taken out, but that's not the case. Let's just double check once more. It's the liquid pipe that I want. Okay, that's fine. What I was going to do is just try to get rid of, oh yeah, Saturn critter traps. Kind of forget about that project. Let's take a pip. Take a little moment to get that down there. What? Oh yeah, the thing I am going to do is I'd like to get rid of this guy. I want to be able to get in there without disrupting the steam that we've got. There's a little bit of liquid there. I feel like that's probably not good to rely on, so come up with some sort of design to allow me to do this. Let's just put some petroleum right here. So now I think we can take these two out temporarily. We'll get in here, remove this, just so that I stop seeing the broken building warning. It's been going on far too long. Get rid of some of the material. Please take that out for me. Of course, it would be dash. That not very good at construction. That's fine. They're complete. Okay. So for the longest time, I had the alert there that I had a building that's broken. I chose to ignore that instead of going here. It really should have been done a long time ago. That really did not take long. The only annoying thing is, got all these dupes in here, but I can kick them out, and we will re-seal up this area. Just make sure I don't accidentally hit the unequipped suit while any of these guys are in there. And we are sealing this back up. Also digging out some buried objects for the purpose of trying to find some Saturn critter traps. Finding a few. Putting them down here and here. So as I do that, let's keep pushing this down there. And oh, right down here is where I could also find some more. I forgot about that. Okay, I have to decide how I want to get down there. Maybe for now, I'll just go down like this, trying to avoid going through that abyssalite. That's going to allow us to find more buried objects. And I will make sure that we get, okay, a little bit of gunk. Spark, I forgot about you. I'm storing some lead suits down here. Spark, put that on. And let's grab that's a pip squeak. I think we're better off grabbing the pip. And continuing to put more of these in the ground. Printonics is ready, I think, just for improved space travel or trying to reduce stress. Let's get a buddy bud plant seed there. We'll see if we can get at least one of the rockets. Let's see where things have gotten. 40 degrees. Okay, that's too hot for that guy. Have all those rockets? Yeah. Let's try to see. Can I see the big heat producers? I mean, keeping my rockets cool. How does one do this easily? The other issue is probably I'm bringing in crude oil that's way too hot. Maybe, the first idea I'm thinking about. Fortunately, I've got that gunk extractor that's sending crude oil out. Gunk, rather, out. But maybe if I had some sort of system that allowed me to get crude oil in and out. And I could cool that. Okay, well, or I'll use the gas. Okay, I got to come up with a cooling system. That's something I'll probably work on another time. Definitely identified one problem. First of all, there is a bit of a hydrogen bubble right here. I feel like that's related to the fact that I've had this oxygen system that's kind of going in a loop right there, just picking up way too much hydrogen. So let's go and first of all, actually, I don't know what the consequences would be if we turn that off. I think we'd be okay. Oh, hold on. Oh, there's nothing. Okay, actually, that might not be the problem. The problem might be that there's no automation controlling this. Let's put that there. So those pumps turn off once this guy is filled. We're past cycle 600. Awesome. Okay, so we have something to be able to turn those guys off. We'll see if that kind of helps the current situation. So I suspect that if we are not we're not picking up oxygen, it's because we're probably picking up hydrogen, which means maybe instead of going up there, we should kind of assume it probably is hydrogen and therefore dump that more up there. That's another thing to improve. Getting ready for some more lunching. I'm gonna go. Wait, that last one needs to be charged a little bit. Let's see what that one is all about. Just realized I forgot to put down my metal on two of these asteroids. I think that was the asteroid that had it. Oh, well, maybe if I redirect that, we'll stop in and do that right there. And next time I'm passing by, in fact, you know what? Oh, yeah, no, maybe the next rocket will go in that direction. Okay, hanging out inside the, or next to the research reactor, not a good idea. Rent. Okay. Maybe for safety reasons, I need to tell the dupes. Though I need...
Is there any way to say this is like a... You would assume that high radiation area would be like where a dupe would decide not to hang out, not to idle there. Ugh. Rent. Get down here first of all. Let's see, this guy's been blocked. Let's take care of that. And we have another dupe that we have to take their suit off. And let rent. Okay, that hydrogen bubble is still kind of an issue. So, yeah, it's not related to that. I can expand. The problem is, in my mind, is we got two volcanoes. Not just the volcanoes, but the fact that I don't want to get through some of this hot stuff. Maybe that individual piece is not a problem. 1300 degrees. Let's go in. So we can get this to be a bit wider. On the other hand, I think that is going to be a huge problem because it's connected to a lot behind it. And let's just open up this whole thing a little bit more. New planetoid discovered. Okay, let's be smart about it this time. Where is that one? Let's, first of all, deploy material. Okay, let's not forget to do that. And we still have more that we can go see what is there. Maybe we'll go in behind this guy. See this guy getting close. Looks like the hydrogen issue finally kind of resolved itself after digging out just a little bit more. Another asteroid here we can deploy. Continue on trying to find out what is around. Okay, so that little piece of Visilite that is extremely hot, I just thought to myself, why don't we dig that out? And then we will relocate it to go down under here. Let's just make sure that happens high priority. Otherwise, that's just going to leak a little bit of excess heat that I don't think we need. So this little asteroid here, I haven't really been paying attention to the fact that the doors are closed. I think it is now okay to connect this up so the doors can open, and then we can take advantage of some of the sunlight in terms of power. Okay, let me see. We've got, oh, power. All right, that was only half of the thing. Need a transformer. So to address the power situation, we're putting in two power transformers. We're going to bring up power so we can get these guys open. Well, I guess technically they'll be able to be open, but we want them to shut quickly when we know meteorites are on the way. So we'll put a pip in here, and he has not planted that. I don't know why that is the case. Give him a little bit more time, but I think something funny is going on. We may have to skip this tile. Okay, rewriting a few rockets to go back home. This rocket over here needs to deploy some metal. I just need to determine whether I have enough space. If I go up here, and I would have 10 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I say let's do that. Notice that the cooling line on this asteroid is not full. So what I'm going to do is make sure we top that up with some polluted water that is sitting over here. Maybe at some point we'll get this water to fall down on top of that, but for now we'll see what we'll do with that. Speaking of cooling, I think I'm going to focus on rocket cooling. We've got a few rockets that are on the way back. In fact, this guy here, we can tell, oh, set destination. What's going on? This rocket here, set destination to go back home. So my goal is, these are some warm rockets, and I'd like to take the temperature down. We're only getting hotter and hotter, I think. So I'm going to come up with a plan, and we'll get started on that. So to do this rocket cooling, we're going to open up this space down here for a little bit of construction. So this is where our cooling system's going to go in place. Steam turbine sitting right there. As long as we have enough steel, should have enough steel. Oh, we do, definitely. Lots of steel. We're going to put this guy right there. And we'll have some of our crude oil go up and around, doing cooling if need be. So just planning to take our cooling line to go down like this, and around. If I did that, that'd save me from actually having to do this crazy system here that I've got set up. So maybe I'll back away from that after all. So now I'm letting some water go. Oh, water, don't go that direction. Go this direction instead. Have that go into this setup in here so we can keep this guy cool with some steam. And I'm going to say that's probably enough. And we can return our cooling line after that makes its way through here. We'll make sure that we've got this guy going down like that. Hold on, I don't want fluid water to go in there just yet. And get rid of that little section. Rebuild this little section. As soon as this is taken out, we can do that. Okay. Oh, something's wrong. Oh, I see. There we go. All right, so we got some water in there. Now we can do our plan of taking this crude oil, having it go in. Just before I do that, let me do a little bit of thinking. So I'm thinking that crude oil can land in that spot. We'll disconnect this. We will do a jump right there. And this will do a priority such that new crude oil will come in if we need to, and that will be determined based on how much is in this liquid reservoir. Oh, it can't actually be built unless we make some tiling. Same for that guy. And then the other thing is we've got this return line, which will do some cooling, but if it's able to, it will supply the rockets with some crude oil. Now the question is, what temperature do we set this? Maybe I'll try 10, and we'll see how the rockets look with that going into it. So now we've got 2 of our rockets that have just arrived, 1 more on the way. So now we are got some hot crude oil going in. My thinking is for now, just to do some initial cooling. I don't think it will be enough just to take the temperatures of the crude oil down. But we kind of want to have stuff cycling in and out. Now, hold on. Let's just check inside these rockets right now. We've got no gunk in this line right here. So why don't we put this rocket and ground it such that that gunk extractor is not used. Do the same thing over here. Now what I'm thinking of doing is we'll have a crude oil go in, and we'll have it go out there. At that point, we'll disconnect that. Actually, yeah, let's just do that to make it safe. Back, I'll even do that. I'm going to make sure I don't forget about this and forget to reconnect these at the end. But anyways, we'll worry about that later. Yawn using the lubrication station. Okay, so just curious where the other rocket's going to take a little bit longer. That's fine. Now I want to have a temporary return line, just for some initial cooling. I'm really hoping this is not going to be needed in the future, but we'll see how this goes. So let's go down there, and we'll consume that from the rocket at priority. So maybe just do this kind of trick to make that happen. And I'll put 50%, in fact, actually maybe 75 on that guy. And I just noticed that meteorite, well, I don't think this will be too exciting. It's more exciting the part that when the meteorites are done, but we'll see how this works in a little bit. some stuff accumulating down here. Oh, right. There was one little sword point I had saw. That's to do with material will land here. I actually had to get rid of a solar panel, so maybe we'll rebuild that solar panel. I want to put that in place. The only thing is this guy here can't access that, so we'll just build another one. That should be fine right there. And have that go up, down, and around. Okay, now that meteorites are over, we're struggling power-wise to open this up. So it looks like no damage was happening. I'm more concerned about the doors closing quickly. So I guess half the doors or a certain amount of the doors will open quickly, and then once they're done, the remaining doors can go. If I cared, I could build a second set of transformers, but anyway, I think we're okay. Let's see how this works out. So that buries some of our robo miners, but we've got this guy who's never going to be buried, and this guy will release this guy, which will bail this guy out, at least the stuff that's on top there. Oh. Oh no. Okay. And we also thought about going down here. And our cooling line is running. A little bit of water. Might address that at some point, but I think it's time for our 55th bionic dupe. Okay, this is interesting. This is the first time I'm seeing Oxylite on this setup since I built this. We got our robo miners here, being able to dig this out, and our auto sweepers. Oh, forgot the cooling system of our auto sweepers, but I guess conveyor loaders as well. Right, that's interesting. Okay, but at least the system of scooping up Oxylite, and I see some Oxylite. Oh, and these guys are probably... I used to focus on bringing Oxylite here. I guess technically sometimes... Yeah, well, I think it's silly to do that now. We'll just let it land wherever it's going to be. And just out of curiosity, maybe we'll track this over time. So Oxylite settings, but I think I'm going to pivot from my project over here and to do some cooling just in case these machines get too hot. Okay, so there's all my gold being used for those. Got a cooling system in here, so we'll tie into this, going up, around. Just really thinking about it working this way, but it's just for simplicity, bring it this way. We'll connect this guy into there. And then I'll connect this whole thing around. Okay, I don't think I was careful enough about some of this, but let's rebuild where we need this and where was my conductive using my, no, gold. That. There we go. And from here to here to here and here. Okay, so I think I've got that all together. These guys can work on that, and let's go back to this asteroid. Oh. Hey, look at this. All right, our crude oil is going through. Temperatures are dropping slowly. Our return line is not there because we forgot that. I guess technically the return on that one's over there. It's fine. Let's check inside here. It looks like that is healthy. Cooling system visiting the steam turbine itself. Guess the rocket's still probably pretty hot, but we'll connect this so that the crude oil can get out as well. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, which one is the one that I have not disabled? This one here. Okay, disable this. Let's tell the crude oil. Ah, shoot. Okay, let's just take that out. Let's send crude oil up here. So that can come out of the rocket just so that we can do some initial cooling. So this is now going out. Okay. A little bit of gunk. Take care of that. Did not realize that we forgot a robo miner in this little section. What about over here? Over here we're fine. I think adding one more right there should be fine. This guy's going to take care of the top of this. This guy's just for clearing off this area. We'll plug that in with some power, plus add in some cooling. It's not looking like the most efficient way to do this, but essentially over time, in fact, that's still hot stuff going in. What's with that? It's kind of like a mix of temperatures. Maybe I will disconnect this for a moment. Let's just make sure that this whole container drops. That's at 10 degrees. Okay. Basically is. Oh, right. That's because we're getting hotter stuff coming back from the rocket. I almost think that it makes more sense to go directly into here instead. Otherwise, we're just going to be returning output or outputting hotter pieces, or just recycling the same piece of liquid. So yeah, let's do this instead. So just adding this little change just so we get a priority to have liquid to go into the sky from the rocket rather than the cycled cooling system. Okay, so there we go. Nice. And let's have a look inside some of these rockets. We've only just started, but we'll let that run for a little bit, and we will see where we get with the temperatures of these guys. Okay, these need to be recreated while someone's going to go take that down. Let's go over this asteroid. Bit more construction, not a whole lot. I think we're almost ready to have that go. Let's go back here. Let's put this in place such that this goes up and then down. And these guys, I think, are ready, or almost ready. Start having cooling going into their system, so we'll do this now, at this point. Come back over here. There we are, cooling going through the system again. Okay. Just curious, in that short amount of time, is anything done? Oh yeah, it's looking a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to prepare this next area, this next little project I want to do. I think it's important to get rid of some of this liquid. Oh, just careful. Oh yeah, we're fine. Just making sure that we don't have any hot pieces here exposed to us. And I'm going to start to fill this in because my goal is to cool off some of these hot spots that are around, including, we'll start with this guy. Move on to this guy after. And we'll just fill in shale. Come up with a plan for dealing with this. Okay, kind of get a problem. We've done some cooling in the rockets. I think we're, because of this situation where it's never actually running through the thermal aqua tuner, it's not a good sight. Okay, probably should be consuming after I've output from this guy here, instead of the way that I've done it. Okay, let me try to untangle this. Also see a little piece of water I can fish out. I'm hoping it's as simple as just putting this right there so I can at priority consume.
That will end. So at least we get the opportunity to do a little bit of cooling before we send something out. And we'll go in a circle otherwise. Okay, I think that is going to be better. Okay, back down here. So I think we have done it. I'm just going to leave this alone for a bit, but the temperatures will go down and down inside these rockets. And then the question I have is, over time, will providing maybe 10-degree temperature crude oil maintain the temperatures such that when they come back, that they don't get as crazy hot as they did there earlier? If that's the case, that's really good. If not, we'll have to come back and do some adjustments to that system. I'm not quite sure what that is, so I'm really hoping. Oh, the other thing is, should be turning this system on. And I might, oh, it's a double system here. One for, and this was for the payload, which is, or launcher, which I don't want to run just yet. Oh, and we lost our liquid, didn't we? Okay, here's the question. Is this Radbolt generator able to maintain without that little bit of liquid? Oh, that's unfortunate. I can't count on a little piece of liquid, unfortunately. That was there at one point. It is no longer the case. Okay. Come up with something, I guess. I think I'm going to come back. We're just going to keep this off. We're going to come back to that. So I get these guys to running. I don't want to do any adjustments or construction while Radbolts are flying around. So we'll charge up the rockets. We'll let the rockets continue to cool down. And let's get into this cooling the volcanoes. It's not so much the volcanoes. It's just the hot spots itself. And then we'll figure out how to bury. That is actually going to be new to me. Figuring out how to open up a regular volcano. I've tried before. This was a long time ago. Completely failed. So we'll see how it goes this time around. Okay. I'm going to choose to have some crude oil. Maintain liquid airlock. While we go here. Oh, what's going on? That's bizarre. What the heck is going on there? But whatever. Crude oil landing in there, which is good. And I think the goal is just to make it vacuum, so I don't think we need a liquid airlock. We'll see. So with that crude oil there, we've got a vacuum there. Let's start going inside this zone. We'll need to start to construct a ladder. It's going to be enough crude oil. Let's check our rocket. Looking much more green. That's awesome. Okay, let's start our ladder so we can actually get up and down. Taking out around in here. Installing a ladder. So yeah, we'll take out the abyssalite from this point on, keeping obsidian. We're going to mix the cold and the hot. We'll deal with that in a bit. So we'll have a flat obsidian line at this point, and then we'll take this on from there. More research done. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to take the temperature inside this room. It's out of steel sitting right there. We'll have liquid dumped in at 3 different locations.
2, and 3. Creating some power for us and cooling this area off. At the same time, still have a vacuum. That's very important. Temperature, this should be set at... Oh, wait. No. I'm missing... I'm missing something. We need a layer underneath or above that. That should be getting a false. You could step out of there. We can put in obsidian line above this. Making sure that we have automation line that goes through. Excellent. There we go. And that's where we should be taking the temperature. So basically, with those doors forced to be open, it's going to reduce... Oh, we got a problem right here. Let's add insulation. Or actually, technically, a vacuum would do. Insulated tile right there. Okay, and if you could get out of there, we could seal that up. Press, if you could get out. There we go. I think we can just have a normal environment if we wanted to. I'm going to hold off, but let's just concentrate on in our cooling line. Okay. Yeah, I see. That did not work right, did it? Instead of reversing all of these, which would be terribly painful, let's do this. That go like that. This go like that. Just have that go right like that. Okay. What's the temperature that hasn't gotten too hot there? Okay, so it's going to be the return on this to that. We'll get rid of this little section here. And we need bridge right there. So that should keep these guys cool. The other thing is power, of course. Oh, gotta be careful. Take that conductive wire out. We've got some very blue rockets. I wonder if I actually made them too cold. We'll see how it kind of works as we go. But now we are ready then. Hold on. I'm going to undo some of the changes. I was hoping that, still am hoping, that maybe getting rid of this will be a thing. Let's just fix this back up so that crude oil goes in. Can make sure gunk goes out so that when they're in space, those gunk extractors continue to work. Do this on each of the other rockets too. So we're going to get rid of this section here. Hopefully not need to rebuild this. I think we can restore that, and I will make sure that each of these rockets has the ability to output gunk into space. And then we will do some more exploration in space. So we should have algae. Oh, right. Okay, because that's... Okay, 20 tons of algae, 100 units of eco-power banks on that rocket, on all three rockets. Fantastic. Okay, so that being the case, we'll keep the same crew. And we'll just go out to do some more exploration. Maybe over there. This guy.
Cargo loading complete. Hold on. Is there any more asteroids to be discovered? There may be. How come material has not been loaded in these guys? That's weird. Okay, I should definitely be able to. There's tons of iron. Why? Maybe I'll try recreating that and see what happens. Okay. What did this guy get filled with iron? Copy settings there. Okay, we're starting the process. For some reason that wasn't working earlier. Oh, we also have to wait for Radbolts. The research is kind of unbalanced in the sense that most of the Radbolts tend to go down. Maybe for this time we should put a pause on our research project. Okay, so we have 2 rockets on the way out. And we can come back to this project. Is the cooling line running? It is not. Oh, I see. To disconnect right there. And about bringing in water to that by temporarily putting in that bridge right there. It's just a little bit of water making its way in. So once that lands, immediately we are going to be making some power, which is awesome. I never thought about making this a power plant. If I were to do such a thing, we would need to make rooms, maybe. Do this. And the idea is if the temperature is either a, let's maybe make it 150. Just want to make it such that the steam's not too, oh no. Maybe I shouldn't have left that liquid in there. Maybe it's okay. Okay, so right now we're at 347 degrees. I don't know if that crude oil is going to... All right. Let's get another liquid airlock. Let's mop that up. So we are making a power plant. We'll empty this guy right there. As soon as that's opened up, go inside here for a little bit of quick mopping and reseal this back up. Make sure we mop up the petroleum too. Oh! Lead. Okay, we've got a bunch of stuff I should have taken out. Okay, we'll do that now. Just to make it easy, I'm just going to clear this whole thing out, all the material. Oh, stop mopping up because that's water. Don't need to do that. You locate some of this stuff down here. Just get it out of the way. So now I can seal this up. Let's open this door, double check that we have a power plant. We do. Oh, and I can see that we've got some tune-ups. So this will do some cooling. Right now, we've got enough heat, so actually not at the moment. Doors are closing. It gets hot enough that essentially just protects these guys from getting too hot. Allowing this system here. Oh, more liquid water. More generic way of solving that. So we'll set up here to check for water. If it's water, then we'll just dump it out like this. That's going to need some power, right? Not too far, which is good. If it's water, we'll just have it checked out right there. Otherwise, it can continue on, so it can go
into this, out that way, carry on. Just to make it clear, do this type of thing just to be safe. Okay, and we will select for water. Water on the way. We've got that. Actually, you know what? Let's just kind of temporarily do this just to test it. Set this down. Duh. Okay. Didn't quite work. Let's do this temporarily. Get rid of that little section. Something simple that I'm missing here, and I can't quite see it. But basically, I want this to go up and out. I don't know. Okay, the contents right there is empty. There's a little bit of polluted water right there. Oh, is it to do with the fact that that's not connected? Nope. Okay, that's weird. So reconnecting this, maybe it's the fact that it has nothing to do with this being the problem. It was just there's nothing pushing into it. Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense because there's two of these guys. We need to direct things. Okay. I didn't see that water go out, but oh yeah, that must have been where the water was. And yeah, there's that water. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, that's just going to take care of any water automatically in our cooling line. We can just reconnect this back to the way it was. So now that we've got 58, oh, what did I just build? Cancel that. Lots of feathers. Let's expand our barracks with carpeted tiles. Over here. How is our gold situated? Enough gold. We'll add some pictures for decor. So adding another floor. Barracks. So with crude oil working out in that other location. In fact, I think I'm going to feel confident now about taking this down. Maybe pump that crude oil back out. We got to be careful, though. Maybe do a little catch there for that crude oil. And tap into there. Put a pump in here to get the crude oil out that we're going to drop. Actually, hold on. Let's build that tile right there first. Make sure we don't have any heat leak. Think we're good. Okay, and then crude oil going in. Okay, good. So just taking note, for some reason that pip would not plant anything right there. I do not know why. I think we're just going to carry on. Let's add more doors. Like so. Okay, we will start destroying and digging. Somehow we got a tiny bit of hydrogen, and that is not cool. Okay.
let's do this. Let's add insulation for now. So we can figure out what to do. So the attempt I'm going to make is just to try to pump out the hydrogen. Not a lot is in there, thankfully. Managed to insulate. Just going to clean up this room. Get rid of this stuff. Then we're going to have a bunch of lead fall on the floor. I want to make sure we don't keep that there when we open up the insulation. And with this area cleaned up, we can go back to our project. Let's clear this out. Start digging again. While we dig this out, just noticing that this volcano is becoming covered. Still pretty hot, but cooling down a little bit. Just like the other side, we're going to do some automation. Get the advantage of being able to look at the setup when I build over here. Make sure that's made out of obsidian. Just going to rip up my oxygen system, move that up a bit. In fact, I wonder if I should just move it all together. I'll consider other options. Okay, I'm going to put in 2020 here, so that can shut off the pump when necessary. Look, make sure everything is functioning right. Oxygen going this way, hydrogen going up that way. Okay, so now we can come back to this project, which would involve, we can use igneous rock. We'll go across like this. Now that I've separated this, I can get rid of this, do some digging there, making room for steam turbines. Guess we're gonna have to get rid of some ladders too. So here is our 60th bionic dupe, SO. So every time I get one of these guys, I am making sure they have a lead suit to wear. I want to distribute the schedule, otherwise everyone will be on the first one. Put so right there. Start them off with their first skill, which generally is going to be a little bit of construction and strength. Oh, we need to do that, and then strength. Welcome to the team, SO, our 60th bionic dupe. Where are we with eco power banks? 925. So we don't seem to be going down, so we're able to maintain it with amount of power, etc. Let's ask for some more eco power banks. Oh, I should go out in space. I bet you there's some rockets that need some directions. Okay. So there is our steam turbines, and now let's put in our cooling. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay, we should be able to make that work. Let's just kind of make sure I do that. Seal that up, right? We're going to need a drop-off spot for liquid here. Here. Maybe put one right like that. Okay, while doing some construction, I see that someone has discovered a planetoid. It's over here. Awesome. So we'll deploy our metal, and you can come back. Actually, is there anything else you could scope one out before we return? So I'm pretty sure this is the last thing we need to do with this setup. Let's just add in some water. Oh, and then we'll make it a power plant too. Let's not forget that. And put in the appropriate settings down here. In fact, I'm just going to simply take that, hit copy, paste. Awesome. So with that wiring that I've taken down, we can get rid of this little section. Making progress on this conversion to a power plant. Think we do another power plant. Okay, let's check the heat, make sure that, ooh, right, cooling. Forget about cooling. Let's add that in quick. Thankfully, the cooling line is not that far away, so this should not take too long. I wonder how game performance is going to be as I get closer to 100. See over time. Oh, I meant to need to have more liquid. Forgot that. Whoops. Okay, it's killed. And let's just make sure that we have just one clean path. Get rid of some of the ends, and then I think this is it. Check the temperature in just a second here. Okay, with that running. Okay, it's a little orange now, but steam turbine 51, 50. Yeah, it's going down, going in the right direction. Okay, and producing power. I see some tune-ups. Very hot here. Temperature over on this or this little section 900 or so. Okay. Figure we'll check the rockets. They are still looking pretty green. A little bit of warmer temperatures here at the bottom, probably because the battery and the oxygen diffuser. But I think that is going to work out, which is really nice. It means I don't have to fill with the cooling system, as long as the cool crude oil that goes back into it is going to maintain the temperature, which we'll see after a bunch of flights back and forth if that's going to be the case or not. Let's see. Take you. You're probably ready to go back. Yep. Well, that is it for today. So we have some cooler rockets, thankfully. Just checking theirs. And we have some a volcano that's been covered. This volcano will be covered next time. Actually, don't know what's going to happen next time. That's going to be on Thursday. Release videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. But I don't know whether it's next time, but maybe I dig this out and I try to find ways of continuing to add in heat. I want to go up to 70 bionic tubes, ultimately 100, but next time my goal is getting at least 70. The other thing is I see that natural gas is piling up over here. Carbon dioxide in here is a little bit thin. I don't know. I'll see if I can come up with a way of getting more carbon dioxide for those guys. We've got to start setting some of this right now just to prevent the need from. Actually, maybe I should be. Oh, we got too much hydrogen. Is that? Oh. You know what? Whoops, did not realize that. Let's, for the short term, we can do this. We gotta reroute this in a better way. Let's have this go like that. Some storage. Ultimately come down here. But any excess should be sent to the other world. Which, if we did take that out, should maybe insulate it in case we get a little bit of hot hydrogen, but we'll have that go down. And what I should do, so at priority, we're going to consume the hydrogen and do some storage, but the excess, just in case, insulate, should be sent over here. So right now we are storing some hydrogen, but once these guys become filled up, we'll have the excess go to the other asteroid. Built a second natural gas And I'm going to copy the settings here, but I'm going to tell this to actually consume, or maybe I'll tell this to burn that slower so that we concentrate on the natural gas over the hydrogen. I see Shuffle up here. How in the world did you get up there? Can you get back? Oh, it was probably a piece of Oxylite that they walked up on. Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe to prevent this from happening, just for safety, we'll put in some safety ladders. Never even considered that as being an option. I think that's only, no, actually other asteroids that that could happen too. Though I don't know that the chance is all that great, but let me just indicate to the dupes that I want. Okay, they already did that one. Perfect. I will then go over here. Do the same. Okay, that one actually already has ladders. That's perfect. Maybe I have ladders up here too. I do in certain cases. Did not expect to see that happen. Glad I was able to catch that. All right. Well, with that, that'll do it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, I will see you another time playing more Oxygen Not Included.